Alright, so here's another episode. We're going to be talking about adding events / small groups / community groups, whichever you prefer. So the first thing that we're going to do, notice that I'm on the events tab and on the events page. You want to go to add a new event, and then you want to name your event. So for this I'm just going to call it test event. And from here on out, I'm just going to put in sort of gibberish, but the point is I want you to know what each of the fields do and how it affects the CMS or the website. So for summary, I'm just going to put, this is a test summary here. This is text that would show up only when you have the event as a featured or spotlighted event. And you'll see that when you go to the publish stage, that only shows up when you click on the option to publish as featured. Here is another WYSIWYG editor, so you can put in whatever you want in terms of your description, links, images, etc. You have a typical start and end time, so let's just say September 30th, noon to the same day, maybe like 5 p.m. And you have the option of choosing repeating events or not, which is pretty nice. You can do daily, weekly, monthly. And you also have the option of repeating every certain number of days too. So there's a lot of things you can sort of tweak with how often these events occur. The website, you're just going to type in a URL and it'll just set up a link for you on the event page. So we could just put Google on there, for example. For the location, again, it's really easy. It's just a drop-down menu. You choose what location you want. If the location isn't there, same as with the rest of the CMS, you press the plus sign and then fill in the appropriate information. So I'm just going to say Burnham Harbor. The coordinator is the person that's supposed to be taking care of this event, or that's hosting the event or coordinating the event, and so you just click on the person that's coordinating there. And if they're not there, then you're going to again go to the plus sign, add new coordinator, and that will automatically put that person on the CMS with the event coordinator status. So to keep things simple, I'll put myself on there. Now this is probably one of the most important parts of the event creation. Categories. Now, if it's going to be some sort of church event, then you always want to put all church so that it comes up on the all church page, calendar page. Beyond that, if you want to specify it's for a downtown or north side or south side or west side specific event, then you can put that down as well. So we can put down north side to designate that it's specifically for the north side. We only put all church on there just so that when you go to the website, when the calendar loads, it loads, if you notice, the all church designation at the top here. So whatever you see when you get to the calendar page is everything that's going on in Holy Trinity. Now let's say I want to do a small group instead. Now if I want the small group to show up on the calendar, then I'm going to do the same all church or north side categories. That is all church and then whatever specific congregation you're a part of. But then on top of that, for small groups, you also want to add and this is kind of important, the community group category, so that it shows up in the community group pool, and also whatever day you want the community group to be on. So let's say, for example, Sunday. Now it's kind of annoying, but this is a small thing to note, that September 30th is not a Sunday, it's a Wednesday in fact. But the CMS isn't smart enough to know that, so it's actually going to filter, it's actually going to treat the small group day Sunday as being the main filter, not these start and end times, just so you know. So again, for regular church events, you want to put all church and the congregation that it's a part of. And then beyond that, if you're talking about community groups, then you want all church, the congregation that it's a part of, and then also community group and the day that the community group is supposed to be on. So that's a lot of categories, but that's the only way that the CMS is going to filter this correctly. So if we go further down the list, you can see there's pricing options, just to inform the visitors of what the prices are for these different events. So most likely it's going to be free if it's like a community group or whatever, but if it's for some other event, then you can put in your costs on there as well. And the last thing that you want to take note of is allow registration. So this is a nice administrative feature that the CMS has, in that a little RSVP link will show up on the event page that will let users, whether they're members to the site or not, RSVP and be put into this event. And then since I'm the coordinator, I can click email coordinator registration notifications, and it'll email me whenever someone new registers for the event with all their information. And kind of like Evite, you can allow notes and allow guests and whatnot. And the last thing you can also do is put on an image. So let's just say we put one of the secondary images on there, and we're ready to add event. So the event is now ready to be published. We can either keep as draft or publish as featured or publish. Publish as featured, again, remember, that comes up on the event spotlight here. If I publish as featured, this little portion here is going to show up. That's the summary part, the summary field. If I click on this, then it'll lead me to, in this case, the community group's launch page, where there will be a description in here. In this case, this event doesn't have a description, it's just the summary. So I can go back to events list, and once I hit publish, it's going to transfer it over to the website, and I should be able to see it when I refresh the calendar.